Hello, and we are live! Exciting! I'm going to be talking about medals and half buckles today, which are really wonderful slings. They're a little bit different, so it's worth watching and making your mind up. See if you want to try them out because they're really cool. I like them, they're really fun. So, I'm going to switch my music off because I forgot to do that. Sorry. Okay, not everybody likes death metal, only me in this household. So, what I'm going to do in this live is I'm going to demo how to tie Dais and half buckle on the front, on the hip and on the back as well. And I'm going to show how to feed in them and just like different variation with Dais as well. Especially Dais are really versatile. There's lots and lots of different ways to tie them, so it's really interesting to use and play with. Half buckles are a little bit different, so I'll explain the differences and we'll just take it from there. And if you have any questions at any point, just put your questions. If you're watching this on replay on YouTube or IGTV or whatever, just put your questions in the comments or just send me a DM. Okay, cool. So main differences. Dais are made majority from woven wraps. So I'll show you one here, I've got closer. So made from woven wrap material, that would be quite a good Dais because it feels very much like a woven but a lot easier to work with. They're very lightweight and they're very easy to use compared to a woven. Some people really struggle with wovens, especially for back carrying, so this would be a really good alternative. So it's just material, there's no structure to it. Dais kind of really vary of how they come. Some have got hoods, some have got spreadable shoulders, so you get more of a feel of the woven. Some have got padded shoulders. This one has got padding in the waist belt as well. Some have got very thin waist belts, some have got wider waist belts, some have got this kind of headrests. They really vary. They usually come in two sizes, so this would be a baby size and this would be a toddler size, so it would be just a lot bigger, and it would be toddler sizes are quite long lasting as well. You would probably need to move your baby to toddler size when you find that the panel isn't covering from knee to knee and it's not covering very high up. So it's worth like thinking about how old your baby is already, what you think might be more long lasting. Drop me a message, just because sometimes it's more worth buying a toddler carrier. Sometimes even babies are not into toddlerhood because you can roll them and you can really make them work with different sizes. Having said that, don't buy a toddler carrier if your baby is newborn because you're gonna have to do a lot of rolling, it will just be too big, it's gonna be uncomfortable. So, but yeah, so something to consider. So these are Dais. Buckle carriers differ a little bit in the waist belt mainly. So this is a Tula one. There's lots and lots of different brands. This one has got quite a rigid waist belt. Obviously a lot wider than you would find on the one that's made on the Dais that's made from a woven wrap. And some people much prefer half buckles because they feel like they're giving them a lot more support. So it lifts the weight a bit better and it just covers your waist a lot more. So majority of them are adjustable in the waist belt. So here with the Tula, we've got poppers, so you just make it bigger as your baby grows. And they differ from full buckle carriers because the top is like a Dais. So you've got your panel like that, and you've got straps that you need to tie. All right, so that's the main difference. With a full buckle carrier, you will have a clip somewhere here on the front towards the back, depending on what type of carrier it's like. So that is the main difference. Sometimes the advantages of a half buckle compared to full buckle is that it feels very similarly supportive, but for some people they can't have buckles for a lot of reasons. Body shape, very tender breasts, could be lots of different reasons. So having something that is more moldable to your body, like a half buckle, could be a lot more comfortable for them. And it fits a bit better than a buckle carrier. For some people, they just can't undo clip, they find it very difficult. So they feel better having something to tie. Okay, so I'm going to demo the Tula half buckle, and then I've got a Podma here from Mamaruga as well, which is a half buckle and it's an hybrid, so I will show you that in a minute because there's a lot to it and it's very interesting. Okay, so for the Tula, I'm just going to put on my waist, and I'm going to bring the clip through the elastic band for safety. And I'm just going to clip. Okay, so I've adjusted it for how big my baby is, so I've put it on a smaller setting. They also come with hoods. Okay, I've just removed it for demo because it's easier. And then I've got baby here. I'm going to bring my baby on my front. Make sure my baby's close enough to kiss the top of the head so I can see airways. And I'm going to bring the panel across. If the panel is a bit high, I'm just going to let my baby's bum wriggle down a little bit down like that. So we've got the airways clear. I'm going to grab a strap, flip over my shoulder, and the straps on the Tula are padded. Okay, so again, it's a very personal choice. Some half buckles have padding, some don't. It's whatever you prefer. And then here I need to tighten. Okay, so I'm going to grab my strap and I'm going to pull down until I feel it's already nice and snug. Bring it across, and I'm going to need to hold my tension by pinning this tail between my knees. Like that. Okay, my screen's gone blank, that's really annoying. Okay, again like this. Gonna rub the tail, pull down. Make sure your cross doesn't go straight to your neck because it's uncomfortable. So like bring it down and down across. I'm gonna grab both tails, give a little wiggle, and I'm going to cross. You can cross over the knees, or some people like to cross under the knees, doesn't matter so much. I find it is more comfortable because then I can spread when I go over, and then under the legs, and I'm going to go in double knot on my back like this. You can leave it like this and have nothing around the breast area if you're breastfeeding mothers, because sometimes it can be uncomfortable, and that's one of the reasons why people go for half buckle carriers. Or if you want extra support, you can grab the tail that's inside and spread like that till it feels nice and comfortable. Like that, it lifts the weight and it's just really lovely. But there you go, it's just super simple. It really takes seconds to put on once you get the hang of it. It's really not over complicated, and it just, there's no clips, there's nothing in the way, and that's what I really like. But it lifts the weights really nicely, it gives me a lot of support on my lower back. To take baby out, I'm just going to remove like that. I can either loosen or I can start to take my arms out, whatever you prefer. You can undo one knot. As you undo your second knot, one hand on baby, and you can go like this. You can tie wherever feels comfortable for you. If you can't go to your back, you can always tie here, double knot under the bum. Just make sure you put your tails away so you don't step on them. Okay, right. So, that is a half buckle. I'm going to take it off, and then the rest I'm going to demo is very similar between made-eye and half buckle, but I'll highlight the differences as I go along. Alright. So, for made-eye, it'd be the same in terms of the front carry. So I would put it on my waist like that. The difference is that the height isn't as adjustable as with a half buckle. Half buckle, you can pull the panel down, the front panel is adjustable. Usually you have some kind of buckling system. With a made-eye, it's just a piece of fabric. So to make it as small as I need, I'm just going to roll it. For my 3 months old, I have it about twice, like that. Tie it on like an apron, double knot, like that. And then here I need to cinch the base, otherwise it'll be too wide for my baby. So because I've rolled, I can just bring it inward like that. Put my baby on my front. My baby sits kind of nice and low into the panel. And here I'm just going to check if the height is good. Yeah, the height is good. And same as the half buckle. Just going to grab the strap, flip over my shoulder, hold baby, pull down, and then pin between my knees, keep the tension, and then same here. It looks like it's just really annoying having to pin and stuff, but you really don't think about it. Again, across my back, and then like the half buckle, you can kind of tie the way you want, and either you can tie by going over the knees or under, wherever you prefer. I like to create leg passes by going over and under, and then double knot on my back. And what I do is here I double knot, and then I do a bow, so I know which ones are which strap, so I don't confuse them. Okay, again, this one's got a massive hood, which is great, just a little bit getting away. Gonna spread my passes here for lots of comfort. So that really recreates the feeling of the woven wrap. It's very, very similar feeling. It's really lovely, but it's just a lot easier to tie and it's just a bit quicker. So there you go. And there's lots of variation. So with my Dais, it's a piece of fabric you can really work the way you want. If I find that as my baby gets bigger, the straps are quite close to the face, that can annoy them a little bit sometimes. So I'm going to do a front wrap cross carry. So a lot of the woven wrap terminology applies to my Dais because it's very similar. So instead of going straight over my shoulders, and this you can even do with your half buckle as long as the straps allow for that. Just going to go under my armpit and then over like that, pin. I'm going to do the same like that and over, and then here you can see my baby's got immediately a lot more visibility. Give a pull and then you're just going to tie it under, double knot on your back and so on. Okay, and I can spread the fabric here as well, but my baby can see a lot more and it's not uncomfortable or anything. Some people prefer tying it like that, it's just totally up to you. And then there's variation and variation of how to tie. It's quite endless. You could even do a torso carry if you wanted to. So make sure you pull it off, and then if you have any problem with shoulders or you don't like feeling the weight, you can just go like this. Make sure it's quite tight with torso carry under the legs, and then you can double knot. And there you go, it's totally fine to do. You could do a hip carry with it. So you start on the hip, and again, lots of different ways to do it. I could be here for hours literally, but I'm not going to do that because eventually I'll bore you to death. You bring your tail across the back, so opposite shoulder, give a good pull, and then I'm going to do it like this, bring it over like that. So it works a bit like a ring sling. I've got my tail, I've got second pass across my back, and then I can tie here, I can cross under the legs and then come back. You can tie the way you want as long as you've tied. That's just very important, and always double knot, okay? But what's nice about this carry, come on baby, turn your head, is that baby's got a lot of visibility. You can spread like that on your shoulder. It's nice and comfy. It's a lovely way to carry as well, and it gives them a bit more visibility, they can see, so it's really lovely. Really easy to feed in, so if you're boobing, you can do a hip carry, and you would loosen by just leaving this slip down a bit. So it works a bit like a ring sling, and then when you have boob height, again you knot, and you can feed like that. So hands to the boob, support the top of the shoulders, and you can feed like that. You can also feed on the front by just loosening a little bit, put baby on the boob and then retighten. There's lots of different ways to do it, lots of different ways to tie. I can help you find a way that really works for you, that you feel most comfortable with. If you bottle feeding, you can just do the same, just lower your baby a bit and then just bring baby bottle here and then feed. Always support the top of the shoulders, make sure the nose is clear, head and spine are aligned, it's very important. You can do it in cradle style as well. So what you could do is lift baby, and there you go, I can feed like that, or I can feed my baby on the other side. Always support, 2 arm, 1 arm, one elbow. It's super flexible. Okay. And then you just grab your slack and then you just guide your slack and retighten. It really just takes seconds. It takes a little bit of knowing where your fabric is and how it works, but it's just very easy. You can also back carry. So I would recommend you back carry when your baby has got full head control, because it's important to make sure that the head is well supported, especially when they fall asleep on the back. So back carrying again, lots of different ways. So also there's different ways to go on the back. So I'm going to start from the hip. So I've tied my Mayday here and I'm going to start on the hip. Keep your tension, and then I'm going to bring the fabric across my back like that. That's one way to go. Make sure you really hold your tension, because that's all that's holding baby. And then keep going until your baby's very nice and high. Like this. You can bring your waist belt a bit higher up if you want. And then I'm just going to grab my straps. So basically I'm doing a rucksack carry. If you are a wrapper, this is the same. But the beauty of this is you don't have to worry about the seat. And for a lot of people who wrap and whose babies pop the seats all the time, or they find it very difficult to create the seat and they can't get the hang of it, this is a really great option, because your baby's safe the whole time because you've got a waist belt. This you can do with the half buckles as well. So here I'm just going to finish the way I want. So I'm going to pin one tail, go under my armpit, over the back, under the leg, pin, and I'm going to do the same over the leg, under the leg. And then here you choose, you can tie here, you can finish to button, so my screen is very annoying, by threading the fabric inside like that. Give a pull, same here, like that, and it's super gorgeous. You also get a free bra, so no need to wear your bra today. There you go, really nice. Some people don't like the waist belt, or if you're expecting, you can just remove it. So let me show you, but don't lose it. So once you're here, pin, and you can just bring it into your straps like that. Give a good pull, like that. You might want to tie just for extra safety for the waist belt. 1 knot, 2 knots, whatever you feel comfortable with. And there you go. I've got waistless Mayday back carry here, and it's really nice and comfy. Right, so, and there's lots and lots of different ways to tie. When you come back, I would say retie here, so you can swing your baby around. And then bring the tail over, pin the other one, go zip, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to grab the other one, make sure you pull, super important. Arm out, hand on the bum, and swing your baby around. And there you go. Okay, lots of ways to tie and have fun. It's really great to experiment with and see what works for you. If you have twins, you can have two, one on the back, one on the front. You could even do 2 hip carries. However, having said that, it's a lot of fabric and stuff for hip carries, but for a front and back twin carry or tandem carry, babies at different ages, it's really lovely. So it's really worth having a think. Right, I'm going to show you this amazing half buckle from Mamaruga called the Podma, and it's really quite special, so I wanted to take time to demo it to you. So it works as 2 different things. So first of all, it's made from a lovely woven wrap. It's quite thick and very soft. So I'm going to show you. The waist belt isn't structured. So if you've seen the Zen slings and the below, it's the same type of waist belt. So there's not a lot of padding. So if you like something that's quite lightweight but a little bit thicker than a Mayday, and you feel safer with the buckle, then this is very nice. So like really soft. It grows with your baby, so very big baby, and this lasted me ages with my youngest 3 now. Still fits him. Small baby, we just make it smaller. So you will just put it on, and then you clip, and then you tighten the webbing, okay, and you make it as wide as you need. If the panel is going to be too tall, then you just roll it. So gonna go like this, so you can just roll a couple of times like that. If you ended up with your buckle the wrong way, just flip them into the, you can twist the webbing into the buckles. It's really not difficult to do. So basically you will need to roll until the top of the panel is tall enough for your baby, and then it's the same as with any other half buckle or made-eye. I've tangled the tails for some reason. Okay. And I'm going to grab the tail, I'm going to flip it over, pull, bring around, same here, like that. Okay, it's the same system. You can spread the fabric. It really feels like a woven, but a little bit more supportive than a made-eye, and then the rest is exactly the same. You tie the way you want, and it's a really long-lasting one, so you wouldn't need to go from a baby made-eye to a toddler made-eye. This would be quite long-lasting. Now there's something really cool about this half buckle. It's called the Podma, because you can also use it as a podagi, and a podagi is a Korean style carrier. It's quite similar to made-eye, but there's no waist belt. So we can just remove the waist belt, zoop, like that, and then the world is your oyster. So if you don't like the feeling of the waist belt, if you're pregnant or anything like that, you don't want anything around your belly, or you just want to experiment, then now you have yourself a podagi. Okay, so podagis, I'll show you another example. This one was made by my lovely friend Carrie. Rock solid slings. She makes her own podagis. I love woven, so very similar as you can see. Podagis are really versatile. There's lots and lots of different ways to tie them. You can front, hip, back carry. So I'll show you a front carry. You can tie lots of different ways, so you need to find a way that you feel most confident with, because there's no waist belt. You've got to basically wrap around your baby, but you can also pre-tie a little bit and slide your baby in. So here I'm just going to bring the panel or the apron inside like that. So my baby's sitting inside it, and then I do the same, grab the tails, pin, the rest is the same. Bring across, and then I would definitely spread a bit here to make it really nice and comfy, like this. Good pull under the legs to create leg passes, and then you can tie again double knot, always the same. And here it's just really lightweight on my stomach. Feels even more like a woven wrap, I find, but even less pressure around the hips. So that's one way to do it. You can also tie it front wrap cross carry, so you can go under and then over your back like that, spread, and then beep, come back phone, like that, pull and cross and tie at the back. So that's another way to do it. You can also, for tiny babies, kind of fold. You can prepare your podagi a little bit more by pre-folding like this inside, so that gives extra support to your baby. So this takes a bit more prep. You would probably need to sit down, and I've made lots of demo videos for podagis on my YouTube channel and also on my Facebook videos. So I would pre-fold like that to give baby extra support, and then I do the same, flip over and tie. So that's another way to do it. You can also back carry. So I'm going to demo with this, but it's a little bit small, but I would either hip scoot or Superman toss. I'm going to show you how to Superman toss. Bring your hands like this, like a gun shape. Pin the fabric with your thumb over your baby's shoulders, and you've got your arms crossed, and you're gonna go, whee! This is super mental. Gonna hold, and then you tie the way you want. If you're gonna go rucksack, you go over, and then it's even easier to create the seat compared to a woven. So you can just bring the fabric inside, like that. Leg passes. So you see my seat is inside. Don't have to worry too much. Over the first leg, under the second leg. I'm going to pin, and then again I just tie the way I can tie here, I can tie Tibetan. You can even do a double hammock. So I've got baby on my back. I brought the apron inside like that, and here I pin one towel over my shoulder, and I can go over my chest, over the other towel, over the first leg, spread, bring it back across, pull, and then we tighten here a bit, and then you can just finish here. Obviously you will have a much longer tail than the other, just wrap it around. So I'm just going to bring it around the legs, and either you can tie here because you'll have the same amount of length, or you can just go to your back and tie whatever, as long it doesn't matter. With fabric you can do whatever you want as long as it's safe and it's tied. And this is really nice and comfy. Spread the fabric on my shoulders, and I've got an extra pass, so it's giving me extra support, which is really lovely. You can do a lot, really you can do a lot. And if you don't like the idea of the Podma without the waist belt, then you just keep it going on with the waist belt, especially for back carries if you feel a bit more confident. It's worth experimenting, and this is one of the very few slings and carriers that give you a ton of options. So there you go. I'm going to stop talking now because I think I've talked about a lot of things for a good 25 minutes. Anybody has any questions, I can answer them. If you fancy trying anything that I've shown today, drop me a message. You don't have to live in East London. I can post anything to you, and we can do video consultation. I've made a lot of videos when it comes to Dais, podagis. It's on my YouTube channel, so really have a look. Podagis are really versatile, a lot more versatile than they look. There's a lot of ways to tie them. They're really, really lovely. So no questions, that's perfect, means I've just covered everything. Thank you for watching. That was really lovely. I love talking about really cool versatile things like these ones. And have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye bye.